Right. Oh yeah.
Nothing strange.
Nothing exploding.
No one appearing in effigy out of the void.
No socks.
No socks. No post.
Huh.
Almost like the eye of the storm.
I suppose we should make the most of it then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe movies.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Maybe Movies. My name is Max.
Oh, my name is Sam.
And we are up to episode 2 of 7 for this month on our third spooky season matchup.
Spooky season. I love it so much. You see my shirt? You gotta love it.
You have. It's in mine. It's well, yeah.
Gotta love that too.
Well, exactly. Thank you all for joining us again, and as always, thank you as well to all of our recent subscribers and supporters. You are more than welcome. We are glad to have you with us in our pocket dimension.
Indeed. Thank you. Oh, what you got?
Pumpkin spice?
Oh, you lucky bastard. Oh. Although, I don't know. Would I actually want pumpkin spice beer? Yeah.
You've said it now. You know it's going to turn up at some point.
It's Rule 34, isn't it?
If it wasn't before, it is now. If you were with us last week, then you'll know that this month we have the gift from our stockings. I know it's not Christmas
Well,
yet.
someone's stockings anyway.
Exactly, yes. We had the gift of The Thing.
And the Hateful Eight.
To try and put into some kind of order, which what we've decided to do is, on one side it's nice and easy, we're taking The Thing and dropping him into the 1800s, and on the other side we're taking the gift of paranoia.
Yes.
A dubious gift, to be sure, and ramping that up in our original setting for The Thing at Arctic Station 31.
That's, yes.
Yes. We had this last time, so we'll say 31, and that. Go back and watch, because we could use the watch minutes.
Yeah,
please.
do. We need your help. And, you know, if you feel like it, you can always visit us on Patreon. Yeah.
Off we go.
Off we go. Yes.
So we are looking at Act 1 of The Dozen. So this is a nefarious Norwegian arriving at the camp, fully believing that somebody who isn't who they say they were. In terms of setup for this...
Wait. Isn't the Norwegian bringing someone with them?
Well, I had a thought. But again, obviously, if it breaks with anything that you've got...
I don't have anything. I was just assuming that there were certain elements that would be still in play.
Well,
What are you thinking?
Well, what I was thinking was we could start with essentially the same opening.
With the helicopter and everything.
With the helicopter and everything. Something has happened, obviously, at the Norwegian camp. And I know we said that he's bringing somebody with him, and I know we were toying with the idea of it possibly being some kind of bioweapon that they've been developing.
Right, yeah.
What about if the dog is either a bit like a St. Bernard, has got
the bioweapon on him,
either injected in it or has the formula with him, and is taking it to a contact at the US station. So you get the helicopter following.
Right, okay. I think it's a bit crazy. It's very ballsy. I like it. I think we just have to decide, is the agent, whatever it is, on the dog or in the dog? Because that's going to make a big difference.
It is going to make a big difference, because I wasn't sure. Well, I hadn't made a decision yet. Because what my thinking was that we still get the same opening. We get the Norwegians land. You still get the explosion, but rather than... Because I think the character's name is Lars. Rather than him walking off and getting shot by Gary, he's a bit closer to the helicopter when it blows up. So he gets knocked out.
Right.
When he comes to, it's sometime later. The dog has been wandering around the camp. It had a collar, and now the collar's gone. But we don't know at this point at the start of the film whether or not your biological agent was attached to something on the collar, or, as you say, is in the dog itself.
Yeah, but I think we need to decide that because it's going to matter going every step of the way going forward.
That is true. I don't know. I don't mind either way. Except that it's in the dog, but he thinks it's on the collar, so we've got it the collar as a red herring.
Oh, right. Okay. Right, the collar is a red herring.
Yeah.
So we're saying the dog actually has it in him.
Yes.
I agree, because I'm just thinking of the dog wandering around the camp all day and the way that he interacted with various different people.
Exactly.
Would that have been enough to spread the infection? I'm assuming we've got to leave our infection very vague for the purposes of paranoia.
Yes, and again, as I said, we can introduce that. I think we mentioned it last time that there is an incubation period.
But
yeah. My butt and your, butt.
we must presumably say that the infection has some sort of effect on personality.
Yes. Of course, yeah, it'll have to, yeah.
To stoke the fire.
Stoke the fire, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously we're dialing the paranoia up to 11, but then with the infection it'll dial it up to 13.
Absolutely, but that'll take them some while to figure out. Okay, so we're going to stick with our original opening, more or less, but instead of being shot in the face, he gets knocked out by the explosion from the helicopter and wakes up a couple of hours later.
Exactly. By which time the dog, as we say, has been wandering around the camp. I think we said last time is that... because again, this is one of those times where we can poach.
So, I'm sorry, just for the sake of naming conventions, are we sticking with Lars?
May as well.
Okay.
Yes. Nice and simple. And again, I mean, this is one of those occasions where we can borrow from the prequel, because I know they're saying there that he doesn't speak any English.
Isn't that going to cause us problems going forward?
Yes. Yeah.
We need some, even if it's pidgin English, we need some English communication, otherwise he can't transmit the paranoia.
No, that's true.
Unless we're planning on killing him earlier and making something else be the source of
No,
paranoia.
that's true.
It's normally my tummy that makes that noise. That was quite impressive.
Maybe it was that layover on LV, whatever. You know, where we found...
Either that or he's trying to communicate with the spider friends.
God, they've got allies?
In you?
That's another thing. We're going to move on very quickly. Very, very quickly. I like that. So, yes. So you must have some kind of, as we say, some kind of like pidgin English. Maybe that's part of the reason why they go back to the camp, because obviously while he's unconscious, that would be the period where
they go and find out what happened.
What happened. Maybe they go looking for a phrase book.
Hey, Sweden! Not Swedish, Mac, the Norwegian.
Very funny, but no.
This will be. So I suppose this will be the next thing. Then is what do they find at the camp?
Well, I'm figuring they've got to find some kind of devastation. I'm figuring the bird buildings are going to be probably still exposed to the elements, burnt out, and things like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously, just the cause of these things are different from the original.
Of course. So there's nothing for them to bring back. When they would still bring the tapes back.
They'd still bring the tapes and the notes back. Yeah.
Yes. Which I did think for that, and again, I must admit, this is an idea I kind of lifted straight from playing Mass Effect recently. I know I'm leaping ahead to the end of the act here. But when we get to there, rather than there being a spaceship out in the ice, it's a clean room that's built into the glacier.
Okay.
So in the event of any problems, they can blow it, seal it, and encase it in the ice.
Oh, have a gold fucking star there, buddy. You definitely earned that one. That's layers, baby, like an onion.
Don't! You're going to summon it. Don't summon the onion.
I like the onion.
How did you notice recently, though? With the onion. It's now a green onion.
I had noticed that it changed colour, yes.
And at that point, I think we've done a little bit there. Let's just take a momentary interlude and do a shout-out.
That sounds grand.
And again, in keeping with as we have been doing this month, we're going to be doing all horror-based stuff like we don't most of the time anyway. So this one is for one of my favourite audio horror channels. This is for Jasper Lestrange and his channel Encrypted.
Oh, yes, you've mentioned them before. Yes.
Yeah. Jasper is a fantastic narrator. He took a bit of a sabbatical. He hasn't done anything really since about this time last year, and then about 3-4 weeks ago he's made his grand return, which is wonderful because, again, as I said, he's a fantastic audio story narrator. Does a wide collection of stuff, obviously horror, of course, as well as some of his own stories as well, which are really good.
Excellent
really
work.
good.
Excellent work. And congratulations for not letting the grind get to you and coming back onto the stage.
Absolutely. So please do check it out. As always, there'll be links up here, link in the description below. Thanks, Jasper, for it as well, for all your support.
Thank you.
Back to the traction.
The what now?
I don't know. I don't know. So it's Mac and Copper, isn't it, that go to the thing?
Yes.
Is this where we have Lars wake up and try and blah, 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 I mean, what do? Do they lock him up? Obviously they'll disarm him, but do they lock him up until... Because I know, so Copper's the doctor, isn't he? I know Blair is a scientist, but I think... Because it's Blair, Copper and Fuchs are the ones who mostly seem to... like the medical guys, aren't they?
They would restrain him somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether it be with rope or locking him in a room or something like that, but yes.
Tied to this fucking couch!
Yes. That's actually one of my notes. That's the line for that particular sequence.
It is.
This fucking couch.
Okay, so he'd wake up while they're gone and start screaming, probably shouting and screaming in Norwegian.
Yes.
They come back. Do you think they'll want to have a look at all of the stuff themselves first before they properly question him? Because, I mean, how long... We don't know how long it takes them to get there and back, because obviously the film just cuts to MacReady and Copper being back at the base. Didn't they say they said 130 clicks southeast of them?
It was quite a distance,
Yeah.
yes. I think we kind of want to, because we want to ratchet up the tension whilst they're discovering
What's there?
the camp. Meanwhile, he's woken up and he's gibbering at them.
Yeah.
And when they fail to understand him, he becomes agitated.
Yes.
Causing them to lock him up or restrain him in some fashion. I don't know, what do you think? Do we just want to lock him in one of the storerooms, or do we want to tie him up?
My first thought would be if they could lock him in the tool shed like they do with Blair. Although if he's unconscious, they'll probably want... I think keep him in the infirmary, but handcuff
Yeah, but I'm
him.
thinking once he wakes up, he gets agitated.
Yeah.
And then they restrain him.
Then they restrain him, yes. Yeah. Especially when he wakes up and he sees the dog wandering around.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the few bits of English he's got is the dog, dog.
At which point, Gary or somebody will say, go and lock that dog up with the others.
Yeah.
They come back, they have a look at the tapes. Are we saying that they would have got anything else out of him at this point?
I want to say no.
Mm.
I want to say then the guys come back from the camp
Mm-hmm.
and they watch the tapes and start to get freaked out by some of the stuff they see.
Yes.
People freaking out, attacking each other or something like that. And,
Sorry, the first thing that popped into my head was that clip of testing, was it the X1 gas from Beavis and Butthead? And they got all the army volunteers.
all right.
Sorry.
I was thinking, maybe it's just because it's spooky season, but I was thinking a bit like Event Horizon, like when you see the test and everybody's going insane and doing horrible things to each other, and and just the little bits of it, not like it's a continuous shot. It'll be little cuts
because the tapes have been now exposed to the elements, so the tape is damaged. So it's just what they've been able to recover. Oh yes.
Thank you. I'll take that. Yeah,
definitely.
My first one for this.
We called the end of the act when they go in the original film when they go and find the saucer. So I think it should be, let's take it up and go and see if we can find this place. There must be part of the footage must show them going to the location.
Well, I'm just thinking there's the bit about somebody not being who they say they are that we've been ignoring so far.
This is true. This is very true. So once they've had a look at the tapes, that gives them more then to go and try and question Lars.
Yes.
Now, obviously, we're still, again, apart from the fact that he doesn't speak a lot of English, if he's there as an operative, as an agent for the Norwegian government,
yes,
he's probably under orders to keep things under wraps until there's no other alternative than to reveal the details of his mission. So he's going to be playing Stum at this, but once he's kind of recovered himself...
so all the gibbering in Norwegian has been a play. He speaks English all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah. And it's like, we've had a look at this now, which will be the perfect point just to say somebody here isn't who they say they are.
Yes, we need to put that in there.
Yeah. And if you don't help me, what's on those tapes is going to happen here.
Then cue a big argument amongst the guys about what to do next.
So who are we going to say is going to go and talk to him? Because again, there's a chance here to help with the paranoia to throw in the rumour mill, because you're not going to get all of them going and talk to him. I take it people like Windows are going to be up on the radio trying to get hold of somebody, but the blizzard's coming in.
Yes.
They would have had to have found... So, again, backtracking a little bit, but that's the nature of how this is going to be.
Of course.
When they come back, obviously, with the tapes, instead of finding the fused together bodies, they found petri dishes and things like that they've tried to burn. So they've brought those back. So Blair is, in place of examining the corpse, is examining whatever was in those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'd be off doing that. So it'll probably be people like McCready, Gary, Charlton, not so much. I'm trying to think.
Are we just going to let the dogs be a slow burn?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll leave that for now.
Yeah, because we're not going to get the whole thing.
The whole thing. No, because it's not the thing.
We could do something with that. Rather than the dog obviously turning into the thing and killing all the other dogs, you could have the dog freak out. And that's the indication that
Something is wrong.
the incubation period is over. It is now. Yeah.
We do need to step up. I know we need to go to
the thing. But we need to do this bit
we
first.
need to ramp up the power. Realise that there is an actual active threat in their space.
Yes.
It's not just some weird Norwegian guy gibbering about shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Something is wrong.
Which will be Clark is obviously the one who looks after the dogs, so he'll be the first one to notice.
Yes, of course he will.
So we still get that scene where he pulls the thing and everyone turns up, and you've got the dog freaking out in the thing, but just not opening up and
not being a thing. It's freaking out because it's infected. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that should be the inciting incident for them to go back to the Norwegian, and that's the point where he says it's too late now. And somebody else, isn't who they say they are.
All right. Yep.
Okay. They then keep him locked up. What are we going to do? Well, there's reference to this grid reference here.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they go up and go and find...
Do exactly what they did in the film.
Yeah, but I think in this case what they find, rather than finding, obviously not the saucer, they will find an entrance, that almost like a lift that goes down to the clean room, but it's all been caved in. It's already been secured, so they can't get in there.
Yes. Well, they couldn't get into the alien ship, so it kind of makes, sense. Yeah.
Which would be where we call the act.
That's where we call the act. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Happy with that?
I feel like we could ramp up the paranoia more. We've got to really work on it in the second act.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's weird because we suddenly got to a point now where we're drawing from like the our creative elements that we use for the mashup episodes into the regular ones.
This is one of the most wildly out there
maybe
movies we've done for quite some time.
But that's fine. Again, I think we needed to do this to give ourselves firmer ground on for the second act.
Yeah, we had to get it all sorted out.
Okay, so we are going to put our feet up and enjoy the silence.
The actual silence.
No more crazy.
For now, anyway.
Fantastic. So again, thank you as always for joining us. We will be back on Friday. See you then.
As always, guys, TTFN.
My unit?
Ba 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 ba.